Jewish Channel's Week in Review. Singles parties dominate on the Jewish holiday of love. The biggest matzo ball you've ever seen prepares for its extreme close-up. A new band hits the Jewish scene, and more of the Jewish news that's changing your world in this webcast version of the Week in Review. Hello, and welcome to the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. I'm Stephen I. Weiss. Violence from the Ultraorthodox in Jerusalem hit another episode this week, as a group of young people reportedly threw stones at the car of Jerusalem mayor Nir Barkat. Ultraorthodox protests and riots have been sporadically occurring in Jerusalem in recent weeks and months, with little attention paid here in the United States. Much of the furor is directed at two parking lots, which are being allowed to remain open on the Jewish Sabbath. While hard numbers are difficult to ascertain, reportedly thousands have joined in protests, and violence has reportedly led to the arrest of dozens for activities ranging from attacking police officers to vandalism. Additional protests and violence occurred after the arrest of an ultra-Orthodox woman for the alleged abuse of her children. When the Jerusalem mayor was attacked this week, he was in the process of departing from a meeting with a rabbi about the issue. He released a statement afterward declaring, "I will not succumb to violence, and whoever thinks he will make strides through violence and bullying is incorrect." Ultra-Orthodox Israeli political party United Torah Judaism condemned the attack against the mayor in a statement, and Jerusalem Deputy Mayor Yitzchak Pindrus, a member of United Torah Judaism, told Israeli newspaper Yediot Achronot, "I am simply shocked by those who think they observe the Holy Sabbath and yet forget that it says in the Ten Commandments, 'Thou shalt not steal.' The Torah teaches us that it is forbidden to cause damage with one's money and certainly with one's body." The attacks on the mayor occurred one day after hundreds of ultra-Orthodox protested the parking lots this weekend, with no arrests made, though 4 vehicles were damaged by protesters throwing stones at those driving by. Now for a very different story about the greatest of harmony. There's a decent chance you've heard of Tu B'Shvat, the Jewish New Year for trees. So what is Tu B'Av? It's also a holiday for something that also tends to crop up in unexpected places: Jewish singles. Margie Rauhat reports.
It's the Jewish holiday of love, but it's mostly ignored in the Jewish community. And only within the past decade did event organizers from the Jewish comedy website bangitout.com rediscover Tu B'Av as the perfect excuse to have a singles party, which has now grown to have more than 800 in attendance in its 2009 edition. And now the holiday is so well known that Bang It Out isn't the only party in town. Others, including End the Madness and Dor Hadash, are throwing their own gigs and representing different parts of the Jewish singles scene. Going to all 3 parties could serve as a sociological experiment into the different kinds of singles in the Jewish community today. So we went to all 3 parties, and here's what we found. Bang It Out's party has a club-like atmosphere, with a DJ and a bar. And, reminiscent of both Jewish tradition and hip-hop impresarios, attendees are requested to wear white. So what are singles here hoping for?
Just, meeting good friends and just enjoying the night, and possibly meeting somebody special, that's all, never know.
To see how all these different groups of singles choose to get down, check out the full broadcast version of the Week in Review.
Thank you, Margie. If any of these event organizers are worried about running out of food, our next story has one answer. It's the largest matzo ball ever, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, and Christian Needon was there trying to get a taste.
It was history in the making on Manhattan's Lower East Side last week when the world's largest matzo ball made an appearance outside Noah's Ark Deli on Grand Street. Weighing in at 267 pounds and 29 inches across, the giant matzo ball was cooked up to help promote an upcoming charity basketball game between the local New York Knicks and Israel's Maccabi Tel Aviv. Proceeds from the matchup will benefit orphans cared for by Migdal Or in northern Israel, so raising awareness for possible ticket buyers meant getting their attention, and size was a factor.
Well, we wanted to do something big. This is the Big Apple. This is a big matzo ball. And this is a big basketball game that's taking place on October 18th.
Well, the original idea with the concept actually was to make a matzo ball in the shape of a basketball and to color-coded it orange, and that would be like the basketball with everything. But then as we were playing with it, we said let's get a little bit more fanfare. Let's make it really big. The current world record for a matzo ball was 26 pounds, and we wanted to shatter that record and hopefully have that record for eternity.
Thank you, Christian. He's the latest artist from the Jewish record label that spawned Matisyahu, the Sway Machinery, and many other Jewish bands, bringing in the crowds around the globe. Margie Rauhat sat down with him for an exclusive interview.
With a hot new album and plans to tour the country, the emerging band Wailing Wall, recently signed to JDub Records, is starting to make waves for its introspective folk music that has merited comparisons to Leonard Cohen and Neutral Milk Hotel. We caught up with Jesse Rifkin, the man behind the band, for an exclusive interview and performance where he played songs from both his upcoming album and his debut single, Hospital Blossoms.
Hospital blossom, I cannot resist the highways that run round my reddening wrists. More grist for the mill and more names for the list. But with the air in my lungs, I'm aware I exist.
To see the full interview and hear a brand new song that's yet to be released, see the full broadcast version of the Week in Review.
Finally, the unusual news that's making headlines in the Jewish world this week. Mermaids aren't mentioned in the Bible, but they're a big topic of conversation in the Israeli city of Kiryat Yam, where claims of mermaid sightings are increasing and leading the local government to offer $1 million for proof of the fish person's existence. Kiryat Yam spokesperson told Sky News that people say it is half girl, half fish, jumping like a dolphin. It does all kinds of tricks, then disappears. The spokesperson said he wasn't worried about the town being able to afford the $1 million reward for proof of the mermaid's existence, since increased tourism could provide much more money to the area. In Rehovot, a man the Jerusalem Post referred to as a sex-crazed husband finally gave his wife a Jewish divorce after 8 years of delay. The man was forced to divorce his wife by a rabbinic court because his sexual appetite reportedly included demands for intercourse several times each day, on every day of the year, including during times when Orthodox Jewish law says sex isn't permitted. The man was apparently homeless and needed to be imprisoned to be convinced to give his wife a divorce. And you might not think of matzah as brain food, but that's the new marketing approach of Strites, now advertising what it's calling Think Bread, the big cracker, but which you'll recognize as the same stuff that fills people up so well throughout the holiday of Passover. The packaging declares it's 6.5 inches square, light and crispy, low fat, all natural, and cholesterol free. So if you start thinking when you come across Think Bread and think you've had it before, you almost certainly have. That's all for this week. For more news and analysis from the Jewish Channel during the week, please check out our blog at newsdesk.tjctv.com. For the full broadcast version of the Week in Review, including additional stories, interviews, and features, please stop by the Jewish Channel on cable. From all of us here at the Jewish Channel, be well. The Jewish Channel is available on cable, IO Optimum Cable Channel 291, Time Warner Cable Channel 528, Verizon Fios Channel 900, and Cox Cable Channel 1. For more information, visit tjctv.com.